Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I switched it up a little bit today. I like to just switch it up and use different parts of the room, give you guys a little different background. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the phone activity. Sorry I didn't just do it all in that one video. I had it all read through and I thought it was recording, and here half of it didn't even record because I ran out of space on my phone. So I went to go check it out and I'm like, oh my gosh, it hadn't been recording for like the last hour of it. So I had to I'm redoing it right now. But first of all, I do want to mention the March 7th date. Oh, I'm nervous. I really am nervous. I don't even know what to expect. I hope I could do a live. Excuse me. I got that copyright strike from that Sherry lady, which I've never heard of before. So, but it says, like, if you look up, like, what if you have a strike, that you can't do a live in 90 days, but on my channel it doesn't show that I have any restrictions. So I'm going to try. I'm not sure. I might not be able to do it, but I would love to be able to. I hope I can. So I'm going to try Thursday after the news comes out, maybe do a live and we could talk about it. Like I said, I don't even know what to expect. I am so nervous. I'm thinking he might be clearing Shanann's name for sure. I feel like, because I'm not sure. I got a lot of messages about Frankie Jr., his Facebook page, saying that he said that he's finally going to tell, Chris is finally going to tell what happened and clear, you know, Shanann's name. But I'm not sure if that's true or not, because I know there's people like making fake Facebook pages. Like the first one, I tried to go to his Facebook page, and the first one I clicked on was like a fake one that somebody made up. So his is actually, I think I found his real one, but it's actually private, so you can't even get on it or see any of his posts. So I'm pretty sure that one is his. But man, I don't know what to expect. What do you guys all think? I'm thinking, I'm thinking he's probably going to clear Shanann's name, because I mean, I heard he's getting really into the Bible and being all Christian and stuff. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe he's trying to get God's forgiveness and just be open and honest about what happened. I'm not sure. I mean, is he going to clear NK? Is he gonna implicate her? I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, in my opinion, I think he's just gonna clear. He's gonna clear Shanann's name, and he's gonna clear NK's name. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying what he's gonna say is gonna be true necessarily. As far as NK goes, I don't know. I don't know. I really just have a feeling. Like, I know a lot of people are hoping that he's gonna say that NK was involved, but for some reason, I don't know. I just don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's gonna clear people's, you know, clear their names, clear Shanann, clear NK, because I heard that he is aware of all the media hype and everybody talking about the case, and he's aware of all the conversations that are taking place. I mean, probably not specifics, but like generally how a lot of people are blaming NK and thinking she's involved, how a lot of the Shanann bashers, or, you know what I'm saying? They say he's aware of a lot of that stuff that's going on. So, I mean, I think for sure he's probably going to clear Shanann's name, but as far as NK, I'm thinking he will, but there's just, I have this small little doubt that maybe not, but for sure she's going to clear Shanann's name. I really think so. So we will see. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I don't know. I'm nervous. I really am. I'm not sure. It said there was going to be an audio and a written, but I don't know. Is there a video too? I heard somebody mention. If you guys know, let me know if there's a video and audio. So we'll all see, and hopefully we'll have a discussion. Either way, I'm going to, you know, post a video and we could all talk about it, but that would be awesome if I could do a live. I know Randy works that Thursday, is the 7th, is this coming Thursday, and he has to work at like in the evening, so I'm not sure, depending on when the news comes out, if I'm able to do a live. I would love to be able to do it with him, if he's available when it comes out. But I'll be up early checking, waiting, so I'm not sure when it's gonna, how quick. I actually sent the email to the Colorado Public Information Act. There's an email you could send to request the records, so I actually emailed them to request the records, but I'm not sure when they'll get back to me. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the phone activity of Chris and Shanann. Okay, so we left off at where Shanann was talking to Nicole Utoff and Cassie. So I actually stopped in the middle because, like I said, how my thing cut off when I thought it was still recording. Like as soon as my phone ran out of space, it just stopped recording. So it kind of cut off in the middle of this. So I'm going to start that, the text that it cut off right in the middle. So this is actually August 9th at 9:12 p.m. Shanann told Utoff and Cassie Chris wants to move to Brighton. Shanann announced their son will be named Nico Lee Watts. Shanann cautioned they were not going to tell anyone the name until Monday and to keep this a secret. Shanann told the women the conversation she had with Watts this evening has been the best yet. The best talk yet. At 10:27 p.m., Sarah Nutt asked how the conversation with Watts went, and Shanann replied, "Oh my God, much better. We talked. He told me he loved me back. Still cold, but not as cold. He even kissed me before going to sleep in basement, which is the second kiss since picking him up from the airport." Shanann added, "I wanted to tell you gender, but you have to keep a secret. He wants to wait till I'm back to tell everyone. So Monday," Shanann said. "He agreed to counseling," Shanann said. "Watts agreed to read the book I ordered coming tomorrow and write me a letter expressing. Shanann said, "We are going away next weekend, just us." So she's like so excited, like he's actually starting to be himself again. He agreed to counseling finally. He said he was going to read the book she ordered, which we know he didn't. He didn't even open the package. He put it in the recycling bin. Man, that makes me so sad. Okay. At 11 p.m., Watts transferred images of Kessinger, some semi-nude selfies, into his secret calculator application. This was at 11 p.m., actually, sorry. 11 p.m. on August 9th. Okay. So now we're on to August 10th, actually. So Watts took the day off from work and Shanann left for Arizona. At 6:20 a.m., missing from Watts' phone but found in Shanann's, she told Watts, "Good morning, honey. Sorry to make you wake up early twice today. I didn't want alarm to go off. We are checked in and everything. It's already a madhouse here today. Enjoy the girls. Don't forget King Super 10 to 11. I told Bella I was leaving for work with Nikki and assured her that I was always coming home. They usually don't eat right away lately. Give them lots of kisses for me. Thank you for everything last night. I miss and love you so much. I am still in shock we're having a little boy. I'm so excited and happy. I really thought it was another girl. Thank you for letting me hold you this morning. It felt good. Your letter is on the counter. Have a great time with kiddos. They truly missed you. Love you, baby. Send me pics." Man. I love her. She's just fighting for this marriage. She just loves him so much and just, it makes me so sad. Okay, 6:43 a.m., Shanann told Watts, "I don't know why I feel really weak standing. I'm drinking a Gatorade and had a biscuit, getting ready to take off. What time kids wake up?" Watts speculated her weakness was from a lack of sleep. Watts told her that Bella just woke up and Celeste was still asleep. At 7:51 a.m., Jeremy Lindstrom, apparently knowing the Watts were having a boy, congratulated Watts. "Little man is lucky boy." Watts thanked Jeremy and asked what time the birthday party was on Sunday. Jeremy said 1 p.m. At 8:03 a.m., not found in Watts' phone, Shanann and Watts exchanged happy anniversary messages. Wow. So, their anniversary was August 10th, and he killed her on August 12th. Wow. August 13th morning, so like 2-3 days after their anniversary. Oh my gosh. What a, ugh. Okay. At 8:44 a.m., Shanann told Watts she just landed in Arizona. 9:24 a.m., Watts asked Jeremy, "Do you think McKenna is available to watch the girls for a few hours tomorrow night? I won a raffle at work for a Rockies game. It's with people I don't know from work, but I haven't been to a game in a while where the kids aren't involved and only last an inning. LOL. Jeremy replied, of course, and asked which house. Watts replied, I would say my house because the girls would fall asleep easier and all it would be watching the monitor. When asked what time, Watts said 5:30. Game starts at 6:15. At 11:57, Shanann sent Watts a web address for a realtor, HomeSnap, and Meadows. 3 minutes later, Watts visited the website. At 1:34, Watts asked McCoy what time he wanted to meet for that fire stick. By 3:05 p.m., Watts told McCoy he had arrived at their meeting location. At 1:42 p.m., Shanann received confirmation from Amazon that the book she ordered was delivered. Minutes later, she suggested Watts check the mail. And this is a little note that the person writing the report made a little note. It said, for her part, Shanann was upbeat and optimistic this day for the first time in weeks. This is evidenced in her conversations with others via messages. In the weeks preceding, Shanann was heartbroken, confused, and emotionally distraught. At present, however, Shanann felt they turned a corner, that Watts was finally communicating with her and was willing to work towards fixing whatever was wrong. Shanann shared this news with many, and her friends sent happy and supportive responses. As for Watts, the book in the Amazon shipping box it arrived in was found in the garage trash can during the search of the home. At 1:50, Ronnie Watts asked if Watts deleted his Facebook account. Watts replied, yes, sir, I liberated myself. At 2:33, Ronnie asked Watts if she's, meaning Shanann, gone. You think we could FaceTime with the girls tonight? Or do you think that's a good idea? Don't want to get anything started. Watts replied that he feared Bella would tell Shanann. Ronnie responded, that's what I'm afraid of. If she finds out, she would probably have a fit. Don't want to make things worse. Watts agreed. At 6:08 p.m., Shanann asked Matt Johnson if he was still planning to stop by her home and repair the air conditioning. Johnson said he hopes to and will coordinate with Watts. Shanann and Watts then exchanged messages regarding this expected repair. At 7:08 p.m., Watts searched the internet for shows at the Comedy Works. At 8:07, Watts searched Google for Blue Agave Grill, both in Denver and northern Colorado. 9:20, Shanann called Watts and held a 10-minute conversation. 9:34, Shanann searched the internet via Groupon for deals on hotels in Aspen. She sent Watts the link, and minutes later, Watts visited the same website. 9:53, Shanann asked Watts, if you're up to it, can you put Bella's seat back in the Lexus? She's been begging for it. Watts said he will knock it out. At 10:57 p.m., Watts transferred the video of Kessinger thanking him for their trip to the Great Sand Dunes into his secret calculator application. 11:10 p.m., Watts' phone connected with Home's wireless network. August 11th. 7:02 a.m., Shanann sent a message to Watts. Good morning, baby. Are the girls up? Watts replied, good morning. They are watching cartoons in bed. Shanann described the thunderstorms the night before in Arizona. Minutes later, Shanann asked Watts, do you want the NFL package for the fall? She next searched DirecTV for information about the sports package. Watts replied he wanted to see if the Fire Stick can save them from spending the money, and Shanann said, okay, baby. At 6:58 a.m., Jeremy asked Watts if he would rather go with me to the Broncos game. Watts lied and said he would like to, but since it's related to my job, they will ask questions if I don't go. Liar. 9:45 a.m., although not found in Watts' phone, Shanann asked him, have you talked to Bella about if we have a boy? Watts said, not yet, and added, she said when the baby comes out, she will pretend it's a girl. Shanann indicated she was laughing and said, oh my God, I love her. At 11:18, Watts searched Google for trails and hot springs near Aspen. At 12:30, Watts told Shanann, Jen, McKenna, and Kylie come in to watch the girls for a few hours while I go to the Rockies game. Shanann asked him to ensure they don't feed Celeste anything she can't eat. She also asked Watts, will you lock my office? Watts replied, definitely. So I don't know who Jen, I know McKenna's the one that watched them, but it says Jen, McKenna, and Kylie. So I don't know if there were supposed to be 3 of them that were coming and McKenna's the only one that showed up. I'm not sure about that, actually. That's just what the text says. So, Okay, so 1:49 p.m., Watts searched Google for Toyota's dealerships nearby. And that's when he picked up that paint, I think it was, for NK's Toyota car. So that's probably why he was searching for that. Because she had a Toyota. Okay. 9:30 a.m., in anticipation for her evening with Watts, Kessinger spent 45 minutes searching Google on topics like how to prepare for anal sex, and the Anal Sex Guide. This progressed to searches at Pornhub for interracial porn videos and threesomes with double penetration. And then there's a note by the guy writing this report. He said, this was by no means the only time she sought out pornographic videos via the internet. And this was 9:30 in the morning. She was checking out the Anal Sex Guide. Wake up with her coffee and let's learn about some anal sex. I'm sorry, that's just... Okay. 4:02 p.m. Shanann asked what time Watts was leaving for the game. He replied between 4:30 and 5. At 5:59 p.m. Shanann asked McKenna, hey love, this is Shanann. How are the girls? McKenna replied, they're doing great. Cece ate 3 slices of pizza. Shanann thanked McKenna for watching the girls and asked if she needs anything. Just ask. In contrast, this is a little note by the guy writing the report. He says, in contrast, Watts never checked in with McKenna to see how the girls were doing or whether McKenna needed anything. 6:33 p.m., Watts searched Google for Lazy Dog on 120th Avenue. 7 p.m., Watts searched Google for restaurants near 120th Avenue to include Rusty Bucket. At 7:20, Shanann asked McKenna if the girls went to bed yet. McKenna replied, they are still awake. They are just watching TV, and they said they don't want to go to bed yet. Shanann advised, I'd put them to bed by 8. Chris showed you what to do. Make sure they go potty before they go to bed, and Celeste gets a diaper. McKenna ensured this would all occur. At 9:12 p.m., Shanann searched Google for the score of the Rockies game, as well as what time Rockies game gets over. At 10 p.m., Watts told Jeremy that he would be home in 20 minutes. At 10:04 p.m., having concluded her evening tryst with Watts, Kessinger searched the internet on topics like Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, Ronnie Watts, and 2825 Saratoga Trail. Now remember, this was the Saturday, the day before the murder. She was searching this stuff, like their address. That's what confuses me a little bit, because why was she searching his address the day before, like right when he left with their little anal sex date night? You know, he leaves, and she Googles like Chris Watts, she Googles Shanann Watts, she Googles Ronnie Watts, and then she Googles his address, which just seems a little weird. Like, I don't know. Why would she be looking up his address? I mean, it's not like she's been to his house a couple times, so why would she need to look it up? I don't know. It makes you wonder. It does. It really makes you wonder. 10:15 p.m., Shanann called Watts and held a 3-minute conversation. 10:19 p.m., Shanann searched Google and the internet for Lazy Dog menu, Lazy Dog restaurant and bar, and find a location. And then a little note says, how she came to learn so quickly of Watts' dinner expense is not reflected in the phone, but I suspect an alert from their bank or credit company. 10:28, Watts called Shanann and held a 3-minute conversation. Immediately afterwards, she sent Watts a message, oh, save your receipt so we can write it off. And I'm pretty sure I read somewhere where he told, she asked about, why, what was it, $62, like why he spent so much, and he said that he bought some of his work buddies a drink or whatever. So she's telling him, oh, save your receipt, we could write it off, you know, it's a work expense. So okay, so now August 12th. So August 12th at 7:32 a.m., not found in Watts' phone, Shanann sent him messages, good morning baby, love you. 7:58, Shanann told Addie, I got a lot of work to do today and this week. Next weekend I'm going to go MIA while away with Chris in Aspen. 8:09, Shanann asked how the girls were. Watts said they were good and drinking a shake. Shanann replied, miss you guys, give them kisses for me. Watts said he would, and Shanann told him to have a great day, and he reciprocated. 8:11, Josh asked Watts if he was truly alright with Josh and his family staying with the Watts family when they move. Watts said he was. That's cool, man. Watts went on to describe the finish of the Rockies game. It was epic. And he wasn't even there. He's lying to his friend, too. So I guess their friends Josh and Cassie were supposed to, they were moving to Colorado. I think they lived in Arizona. And they were moving from Arizona to Colorado. And they were going to stay with Shanann and Chris while they found a house or bought a house or whatever until they got situated in Colorado. So at 8:35, Shanann told Addie, I need to do better with my calendar. I don't block out family time. I fill in family time. He, Watts, said to me last night it has nothing to do with business, though. Addie said she thought this could have been the issue and insisted Shanann make more time for the family. Shanann replied, "No, I agree. No, I think it's itty-bitty things. I sometimes can be bitchy, and he gets that side of me. I know I tend to make him feel like he isn't able to do things because I have control issues. He said the other night he wishes I'd just let him hang up a picture." See, like, she's aware of her weaknesses and the things she needs to work on, and that just shows you how self-aware Shanann was. I mean, she might not understand like why she is the way she is, like a perfectionist and control issues, but she was trying to understand it, getting those self-help books, trying to be self-aware, like, why am I acting like that? Because you almost have to know why to change something like that. So she's trying to become self-aware, and admitting your fault is the first step in making sure you don't repeat it. You know what I'm saying? And admitting, what you need to work on and what is your faults and weaknesses is the beginning step to make sure that, you don't repeat it, to try to work on not repeating it. You have to admit it. You have to know your faults. And that's what she was doing. I mean, she was trying to become self-aware. She was self-aware to the extent where she knew her faults and knew what she had to work on, but maybe not knowing exactly how to fix them, like where that maybe they are coming from, and to try to get kind of to the root of why she is that way, to maybe try to help her work on that kind of stuff, And everybody has their own faults, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say like, she has all these issues and all. I mean, we all do, and it's just, I give her credit because she is one of the few that's actually aware of this and wants to work on it and work on herself and try to figure out, what she could do to change this, to turn this weakness into strength. So she was getting, self-help books, trying to figure out, how she could go about, working on herself. Because, it's hard when something's like a big part of you and a habit. It's a lot easier said than done to just, I'm going to stop acting that way. I mean, everybody knows it's not that easy. And, you could try to be aware every time you are being that way, but I feel like if you don't get to the root of why you are the way you are, then it might be a lot harder to change. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what she was doing with those self-help books, is she was trying to get to the root of why, so she could change, so she could actually be aware of where the problem originated, you know what I'm saying, to be able to fix it. Because otherwise, I mean, you could try to be conscious of it every time you are doing something like a behavior trying to stop. You could try to be conscious of it, but like, if you don't get to the root of it, it's probably gonna peek its head back up, you know what I'm saying? You're probably, because you can't always be, after your mind, like right at first you're like, okay, I gotta work on this, but then, after a year passes, you're not, your mind isn't always in that spot, like, I'm working on this, so once you begin to kind of forget again, you know what I'm saying, you just fall back into your old habits. So, but if you change it at the root, then chances are you could actually make a real change, like a permanent change, So I'm guessing that's what she was doing by reading the books and studying them and taking notes. She was really trying to get to the bottom of it and really trying to change. So I just think that's awesome. I really do. I think she was an awesome person, and I just think everything that she did, she put 100% into it, So, and it's just a shame that she was putting all this effort into it, and all he was putting effort into is planning on how he could get rid of them. I don't even know. It makes me sick when I think of it. It makes me so sad when I read this stuff, that how much she was working on herself. She was just, God bless her. God bless her little heart. Like, And she's even saying instead of filling in family time with like doing stuff for work, she's going to start blocking it out so she has time to spend with her family. At 9 a.m., Shanann's calendar had entry titled Talk scheduled for this date and time. At 9:04 a.m., Shanann continued with Addie. I always have, but he also never calls me out. He never fights me, just goes with the flow. He and I know I like things done a certain way, but I never thought about how that may make him feel as a man. I don't even know if that's what's bothering him. He still hasn't said. I'm praying he wrote me a letter like I asked, since he can express himself better in a letter than talking. Shanann added, I'm the pusher and he's the withdrawer. He has strengths that are my weaknesses, and vice versa. Shanann continued, the lack of communication isn't on my part. I can be better at how I communicate, but he doesn't communicate. I say things sometimes just to get him to react in any way, since he doesn't react, and that's not good. It's not even all the time. 99% of the time we are perfectly fine, and we have never ever fought literally over anything serious. I have fought with him over stupid stuff, like not doing something I asked in a timely manner. Shanann said, I did belittle him without realizing it with his parents. Told him he needed to find his balls and protect his family. Shanann said Watts is submissive when his parents are involved. Addie said that is Watts' disposition and added, he would kill for you. Wow, what a statement for her to make. Shanann told Addie, told him in a letter I would for him, and there has to be mutual respect. I did respect his parents enough to deal with them. His mom just didn't, and went alone with me, jabs at me. It's not fair. I mean, I agreed to spend 5 weeks with both parents. That's hell for me. But I did it for him and kids. Shanann continued, he was never close to anyone but his dad. I, being the family person, tried bringing them closer, and it backfired. I need to feel like he will stand up for us faced with difficult situations. That's where he flaws, or weakness. Shanann told Addie, my weakness is I have an Italian temper that can't hold back when pissed. I'm a fixer, and I want to talk this out, and he just wants to work it out in his head. I've just been acting kind of normal. Morning, baby, love you, etc., but not overdoing it. Overdoing it is what we do. We are so affectionate, can't stop touching each other, etc. Not just the sex, just the touch. 9:57 a.m., Shanann asked Watts, can you do me a favor today if you have time? Can you get the girls' backpacks ready for tomorrow with blankies and spare clothes, please? If not, I can do it in the a.m. Watts said he would. At 10:32, Shanann asked Watts to send her some pictures of the girls. I miss them. And there's a note that has the 2 pictures of them when they're eating dinner that Chris took of them, and it says, roughly 18 hours before their murders, Watts took one of the last known images of Celeste in life. He sent this and one of Bella taken at this time to Shanann. At 10:45, Watts searched Google for Mount Kalima. He preserved an image of the volcano spewing lava and smoke. At 11:13, Shanann asked if the girls were taking a nap. Watts said they were just laying down. Shanann asked Watts, if you have time before they wake and want to call me back, I'd love to talk to you. Watts said okay, but he never did. 12:17, perhaps the last image of Shanann taken in life. At 1:30 p.m., Watts took photographs of the girls playing in the distance in a backyard near a small pool. It was the Lindstrom birthday party. At 2:46, Ronnie asked if Watts and the girls were doing well. Watts said yes. Ronnie responded, okay, we love you guys. At 3:56, Shanann asked if the girls had fun at the party. Watts said they were still there and they were having fun. Shanann replied, good, I'm glad. Okay, love you. Watts did not respond. 4:56, Watts searched Google for Paracutin. It's a volcano. All this volcano searching, I'm sure it has something to do with NK. 6:44 p.m., a photo was created in his image file documenting the temperature setting in the refrigerator. 6:47, a photo of 4 chicken breasts on a barbecue grill was created in his image file. At 5:06, Watts told Cody Roberts, a co-worker, I have the whip checks for the Survey 629. I'm going to go straight out there from my house in the morning. I will look at that 319 as well and run the 1129 if you want. At 5:07, Watts called Sandy Rusek and held a nearly 12-minute conversation. At 5:20, Roberts replied, I was going to head out there first thing tomorrow to check out the 319. Did Troy talk to you about what I had found out there Friday afternoon? Watts answered, yup, I was standing right next to him, LOL. I was giving him a fire stick to look at. I can go out there, though. No sense in both of us going out there, LOL. Yeah, no sense in both of them, huh? We know what you want to do. 5:26 p.m., Watts searched Google for the Dead Sea Scrolls. 6:09, Roberts responded, all right, sounds good, man. I appreciate it. I think I still have a couple conies left out there. I can let you know in the morning, and let me know if you find anything at the 319. If not, we may pressure test the BP line and see if it's leaking underground. At 7:46 p.m., Shanann asked, hey honey, kids in bed? And asked for pictures. Watts replied, Bella just back in bed. Shanann noted, they must be exhausted. Watts resent the image from earlier in the day at the dinner table. He added this image taken later in the day at the birthday party, the last known photograph of Bella in life. So it's like a lot of people brought up, why didn't he just take a new picture of them? You know, like, even if they were asleep, and take a picture of them sleeping, you know, so Shanann could see a new picture, but he just sent the same ones from earlier. But that was at, like, around 7:45, so I don't know. At 7:54 p.m., Shanann told Watts the power went out during dinner with Cindy and Addie before the airport. She sent a photograph of the darkened restaurant. She commented on the photographs he just sent. Great job on Bella's hair, Watts replied. That sucks. Yeah, she cooperated. Shanann explained. Really bad dust storm, rain, thunder, and lightning. Shanann said Cindy bought their dinner. Shanann concluded, praying it doesn't cancel flight. Addie's flight was canceled this morning. 8:20 p.m., Shanann called Watts and held a 9-minute conversation. Revealing how their talk went, immediately after this call, she told Watts, sorry I bothered you, just wanted to talk to you. 8:31 p.m., Shanann told Addie she can call Chris about Jack. He's up. 8:33 p.m., Shanann told Watts, thank you for taking good care of the kids this weekend so I can learn and work. I appreciate it. 8:45 p.m., Watts returned a missed call to Addie and held a 16-minute conversation. Moments later, he told Shanann, you're welcome. I just talked to Addie. And there's a note. It says, in their follow-up messages, it was clear Watts offered Addie mechanical advice on a car. At 9:09 p.m., Shanann asked Watts, what kind of vegetables do you want with dinner tomorrow? Watts replied, green beans. Shanann said she would buy them tomorrow at Costco, along with other items. Shanann soon told Watts that she was ready to come home. I'm ready for bed. At 9:13 p.m., Shanann sent a message to Addie explaining the accompanying text was what Shanann planned to tell Watts tomorrow night. The message read, can you please tell me something? Because like you, I'm in my head. I try to fix things and make them better, and this is making me crazy. I know that you need time. I want to give you what you're asking for and respect your space. I need some time. This place that I'm in my head, it's not a good place. It's not healthy for me or Nico. I need you to help me help you. I need you to give just a little bit of what I did or didn't do, so I'm not going crazy in my head to figure it out. I know I can't fix this by myself, that we are going to have to work together. He's not even telling her anything, this poor girl. She's just like, give me something. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, everything was fine, and all of a sudden you're saying we're not compatible when you're not he wasn't giving her anything. Can you imagine not knowing, like, just racking your brain, like, what did I do? What could it be? Like, she has no idea, and he wasn't telling her anything. Like, can you imagine what she was going through? I can't even imagine. Like, she loves him so much, and she thinks everything's fine, and he's telling her, you know, everything's not fine, but not telling her why. So she has no idea. So she's just thinking, is it this? Is it that? Is it because I'm this way? Is it because I'm that way? You know, trying to, it's like almost like she wants to fix every little thing about her that it could possibly be to please him. You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't know exactly. So I'll do this, I'll do that. They said she was like taking notes at the airport, her self-help books, taking notes the whole time, trying to, you know, help the marriage. And he's not giving her anything. Oh man, I can't even imagine. Okay. At 9:29 p.m., Shanann made an unanswered call to Watts. At 9:44 p.m., Shanann told Watts, "Tried calling you to give you an update. Was starting to board and they announced that our crew isn't here yet and it's going to be a minimum of an hour before they're here." At 11:21 p.m., Watts finally replied, "Holy crap, sorry, I passed out on the couch. That's going to be late." Okay, so now this is August 13th. Well, it's still the same night, but like after midnight, you know. It's at 1:25 a.m. Shanann told Cassie they had landed. This is the last outgoing communication found on Shanann's phone. At 1:48 hours, Watts' phone logged the Vivint Alert of Shanann's entry into their home. And there's a note. This is at the same moment the Vivint video monitor captured Shanann as she walked up to the home and entered. Utah was captured backing out of the driveway. And then between 1:48 a.m. and 4:23 a.m., there was no movement detected on the main floor of the home. So for those 3 hours, basically, there was no movement on the main floor. So, but they never really said on like the upper floor or basement if there was any movement. So I don't know. Do they not have that information, or they're just not letting us know? Because it talks about how there was no movement. Well, I guess it's probably just saying there was movement on the second floor, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Saying there's no movement on the main floor, but obviously movement on the second floor. Okay, at 2:01 a.m. in a group text, Utah told Cassie, "We are home." And then there's a note that says, "Shanann's phone activity is otherwise dormant until 7:40 a.m. when Watts sent the device a staged message pretending not to know where she was at." At 2:18 a.m., the home's router logged an unspecified activity in Watts' phone. And I think that was the activity where somebody tried to order hair products. I'm pretty sure that's what that was, that unspecified. So it was on Watts' phone that somebody ordered like hair products and it got declined. So still don't know what that was all about. Okay, so a note from the person writing this report. At 5:48 a.m., Watts left the home with the bodies of his family piled in the back seat of his truck. At 6:29 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., Watts made 3 unanswered calls to Roberts. 6:31 a.m., Watts sent a message asking Roberts, "Where are you at?" 6:32, Roberts replied, "Just got fuel in Kersey." 6:32, Watts made an unanswered call to Roberts. 6:33, Watts responded with 2 messages to Roberts. "Okay, I'm in Survey. Where are you going first?" So he's like freaking out, like make sure that he is not coming here. Where are you? He keeps trying to call him because he's worried, like I hope he's not coming here. 6:32, Watts made an unanswered call to Roberts. 6:33, Watts responded with 2 messages to Roberts. "Okay, I'm in Survey. Where are you going first?" 6:33, Roberts answered DPC state, and Watts replied with the thumbs up emoji. So he's probably just happy that he wasn't going to Survey, because you know that's why he's calling him. He called him 3 times. "Where are you going?" He wants to make sure nobody's heading that way. So when he said he's going to DPC state, which I'm not sure what that is. I think that's just the office, like where they work, the work building. I'm not sure though, but he just gives him a thumbs up. Probably relieved that he wasn't going straight to Survey. 6:35, Roberts advised, "I need to call Chad and see if he plans on still stroking the 1029 out there to see if it'll pump up. If so, I'll have to meet him, or he will have to get the cannon plugs from Tony, okay?" Watts responded, "Okay, let me know before I leave here." 6:38, Roberts added, "I think Chad, might be heading out there today. Phone was breaking up pretty bad." 6:39, likely fearing another employee may show up at 319 while he was disposing of the bodies, Watts made an unanswered call to Chad McNeil. 6:41, Watts followed that call with a message asking McNeil, "You headed out to Survey? I'm out here. Cody said something about pumping up to 1029. McNeil replied, "Well, since you're out there, you want to fire it up? Have Cody bring his cables." At 6:44, Watts agreed, "Okay, I will." McNeil advised, "I'll head that way in a bit." At 6:59, Roberts told Watts, "I guess I'm heading out that way to start up to 1029, and Chad will be meeting out there." Watts replied, "Okay." At 6:59, Roberts told Watts, "I guess I'm heading out that way to start up to 1029, and Chad will be meeting out there." Watts replied, "Okay." 7:18, Watts took a photograph of his laptop screen, presumably sitting in his truck. And it says there's a note that says the metadata confirms Watts was at the Survey coordinates. The image is apparently only in thumbnail format, and enlarging it blurs out the writing on the laptop screen. So I wonder what that was, huh? 7:40, Watts sent the stage message to Shanann's phone. "If you take the kids somewhere, please let me know where they're at." 7:40, Watts made a 2.5-minute call to Troy McCoy. 7:41, Roberts told Watts, "I'm here at the 1029. You mind coming out here just in case something gets sideways?" At 7:43, Watts told Roberts, "Yeah, I'm at 319. 1 sec." Watts then took this picture, which is that picture of the ground leaking, that oil leak. 7:43, Watts called Luke Eppel, a co-worker, and held a 1-minute, 45-second conversation. 7:43, Robert asked Watts, 10-4, how's it look? Watts replied, "Fresh, LOL." 7:47, McNeil called Watts and held a 2-minute conversation. 7:51, Roberts asked, "Is it a lot?" Watts responded by sending the image he took minutes earlier. 7:55, Roberts asked, "Want me to bring some Gator? We can try and pressure test the line too if you want." Watts replied, "I got it handled, thanks though." 8:25, Watts made a stage 23-second call to Shanann's phone. 8:26, Watts searched the internet for the Primrose School of Erie at Vista Ridge. Seconds later, he called the school and held a 1-minute conversation. During this call, Watts told staff that his daughters would not be attending school there any longer. What an idiot. 9:05, Shanann's phone had an appointment reminder scheduled for this time, her medical appointment. Seconds later, Watts called Ann Meadows, the realtor, and held a 3-minute, 40-second conversation. 10:06, Centura Health Physician Group Women's Health in Erie called Shanann's phone and left a message. "I confirmed the calling number listed to this clinic." 10:10, following the murder of his family and disposing of their bodies at a desolate well site, Watts searched Google for the lyrics to Battery by Metallica. And some of the lyrics, the reporter wrote some of the lyrics out. So you gotta listen. I'm gonna read you some. "Lashing out the action, returning the reaction, weak are ripped and torn away, hypnotizing power, crushing all that cower. Battery is here to stay. Smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me, cannot stop the battery, pounding out aggression, turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family. Battery is found in me. Crushing all deceivers, mashing non-believers, never-ending potency, hungry violent seeker, feeding off the weaker, breeding on insanity, smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me, cannot stop the battery, pounding out aggression, turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family, battery is found in me, battery, battery. Circle of destruction, hammer comes crushing, powerhouse of energy, whipping up a fury, dominate and flurry, we create the battery. Smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me, cannot stop the battery, pounding out aggression, turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family, battery is found in me, battery." What a song to look up the lyrics to right after you killed your family. Man, that's crazy. Watts has proven a keen interest in song lyrics. He is no doubt familiar with the song lyrics. He attended the Metallica concert held in Denver on June 7th, 2017. I recognize the photographs he took at the concert and stored in his phone on that date. I was there. So the guy that is writing this report said he was there at the same concert that Watts was there at. Okay, 10:28 a.m. Sandy Rusek, Shanann's mother, asked Watts, "Is Shanann okay?" Watts made an unanswered call to Rusek. She called him back and held a 1-minute conversation. 10:33 to 10:41, Watts searched the internet for hotels in Aspen. So he was supposed to go to Aspen with Shanann that next weekend. You know, he knows he just killed her, so why is he still searching hotels in Aspen? I'm thinking after he started looking, you know, of the hotels and different things in Aspen, that maybe he decided that he was going to take NK there instead, you know. So he still wants to make that trip there, maybe. I don't know. At 10:42, Watts called the Westin Snowmass Resort and held a nearly 2-minute conversation. 10:44, Sandy called Watts briefly. At 10:45, Watts searched the internet for a Groupon to include the company's contact information. 10:51, Watts called Sandy and held a 1-minute 12 conversation. 12:16, Josh Rosenberg asked Watts, "Hey bro, Cassie asked me if I've heard from Shanann today. I guess her and Nikki can't get a hold of her. Have you heard from her today?" At 12:16, Watts took 2 photographs of sunflowers in an open prairie. Pretty sure they said, it doesn't say this in this report, but I remember hearing or reading somewhere that he sent that picture to NK, so, of the sunflowers. 12:17, Watts' phone received an alert from his Vivint panel. 12:18, in response, Watts called Nicole Utoff and held a 1-minute conversation. 12:21, Watts told Josh, "I just talked to Nikki. Shanann went to a friend's house with the kids today. I haven't heard from her since. I will keep you updated, though." Josh replied, "The girls were worried." Watts responded, "I know. I just saw Nikki on the doorbell camera." At 12:27, Watts called Utoff and held a 2.5-minute conversation. 12:27, Ann Meadows, which was the realtor, told Watts, "Hi, I'm working on your market analysis. I would like to bring my listing coordinator with me when I bring it. Did you finish the basement? Any other upgrades?" These messages were also found in Shanann's phone, likely sent as a group text by Ann. At 12:31, Addie asked Watts if Shanann was okay. "Everyone is worried. It's not like her not to respond, and we haven't heard back from her all day." 12:41, Watts called Utoff and held a 40-second conversation. At 12:43, Cassie told Watts, "Shanann is in a very bad way emotionally, and I'm worried about her. I know you are having issues, but I don't know to what extent. But I do know I have never seen her so broken to an extent I am worried." Watts replied, "She went to a friend's house with the kids. She won't tell me where, though. When I get home, I will update you." Minutes later, Cassie told Watts, "Sweetie, nobody knows about you and her other than Nikki and I. So where would she go if not with Nikki, and not to Arizona where I am at? Her car and shoes and everything is at the house. What the heck is going on with you guys that she would totally shut out everything? It's not like her." Watts responded, "I told Nikki about it so she wouldn't freak out anymore at the house. I think Christina knows as well. We talked last night and I told her I wanted to sell the house, get something smaller. Separation would be their best right now if we can work through the issues. I really don't want you to think I'm a bad person, Cassie." There you go, only thinking about himself, worried about what other people are going to think about him. Cassie replied, "Right now I don't care about you or your relationship or what type of person you are or not, or what I think of you. I'm not trying to be rude when I say that." In the midst of all that was occurring, Watts tended to his real estate concerns, telling Ann Meadows, "Basement is still unfinished, no other upgrades." So he's still trying to get this whole house selling thing figured out. At 1:03 p.m., Cassie chastised Watts, explaining her only concern was for his damn wife and her well-being. Cassie advised, "Nikki is calling the police." Cassie told Watts, "She is broken emotionally. Her blood sugar dropped due to not eating, and it could cause her to pass out. So unless you want the police to bust down your damn door, then you get home and check on your family." You go, Cassie. You go. Meadows replied to Watts during this exchange, suggesting a house at 6508 Saratoga may be viable. At 1:05 p.m., Watts told Cassie, "I'm going home, Cassie, on my way. Don't call the police. I will be there in 45 minutes. Cassie thanked him and explained her fears. "Nikki and I know what state she was in all weekend, and we wanted to see that she isn't in the house, because this is seriously a concern." At 1:07 p.m., Watts called Cassie and held a 1-minute conversation. 1:13, McCoy asked Watts if everything was okay. "If you need anything, let me know." 1:14, Meadows asked if Watts preferred a 3-car garage. Watts replied, 3-car garage. I will drive by the 6508 address when I get home. Still all concerned about this house rather than his family. Ugh. 1:31, Utah called Watts twice briefly. 2:10, Christina Meacham asked Watts, what is going on? Where are you? We are so worried. 2:11, Watts sent another staged message to Shanann's phone. Where are you? 2:14, messages from Utah were finally received by Shanann's phone. By all accounts, these would have been sent by Utah earlier in the morning before she called police. They included, just wanted to see if you were okay. I know you were hurting a lot last night. Hope you're okay. Let me know how your appointment goes. I have been to your house. You won't open the door. Your alarm is set. Your shoes are sitting inside. Your car's home. I'm so very concerned about you right now. I need you to text me or call me and just tell me you're okay. If you don't want to talk to nobody, you don't want to be around nobody, I get it, it's fine, but I need to know you're okay. A group text was created between Cassie, Christina Meacham, Utah, Addie, and Shanann's phone. The group sent assorted messages of growing concern for Shanann. At 2:26, Watts told Christina, the police are here, I'll call you when I know. At 3:46, Addie asked Watts what was happening. I'm so worried. Watts called Addie and held a 6-minute conversation. At 3:48, Addie told the group, the police need to look at Chris's cell and computer. Wow, they were already on to him. The friends were. Shanann's phone soon exploded with anxious messages of concern from friends and family across the nation. As the afternoon moved into the evening, the messages became gut-wrenching pleas to hear from Shanann, sending her prayers, hope, and their love. At 4:22, when Kelly Burke asked what the police were saying, Watts said they will file a missing persons report in the AM if we don't hear from her. At 4:26, Burke asked Watts if Shanann was awake when he left for work. Watts lied and said, I talked to her early this morning between 4 and 5 a.m. I think she went back to sleep afterwards. She was still here when I left, kids still sleeping. Burke said she was scared, and Watts said he was too. At 5:01 p.m., Kessinger made 2 unanswered calls to Watts, and he deleted those calls. At 5:05, Watts called Chase Bank and held a nearly 2-minute conversation. He called a separate number for Chase moments later and held a 2.5-minute conversation. At 5:30, Watts made an unanswered call to Kessinger, and he deleted that too. At 5:48, unaware of events, Meadows asked if Watts drove by 6508 Saratoga address. Completely aware of events, Watts still replied, just did, yep, that's the exact model. Wow. So did he really drive by that when this was all going down? Man. At 6 p.m., following suggestions by many, Watts searched Google for hospitals near his home. In less than 4 minutes, Watts called Good Samaritan Medical Center, St. Anthony North Health Campus, Longmont United Hospital, and UC Health. The average duration of these calls was 40 seconds. The longest was 69 seconds. Out of curiosity, I called St. Anthony's. Without identifying myself, I asked if a Rollo Tomaso was a patient. It took 2 minutes to get my answer. I suspect Watts merely called each hospital to create a trail of concocted concern and never actually spoke with anybody. At 6:23 p.m., Burke asked if Watts had any luck with the hospitals, and Watts said no luck at all. At 6:30 p.m., Meadows asked Watts if Shanann was okay, noting she has not taken part in their group text exchange about selling the house. Watts replied, she hasn't been around all day, it's very odd. 6:52 p.m., Watts told Samantha Paisley, aka Sam, I'm praying so hard I'm sick to my stomach. Cops searched the house up and down and drilled me pretty hard. I have no idea where they could be. Sam asked why the police were drilling him. An hour later, Watts explained, they are just being thorough. They got to do all the digging they can. I saw them this morning. Yeah, people are helping me search. You don't need to get on a plane. We have a lot of support here. At 7 p.m., Watts received a calendar notice titled Dinner with Shanann. Shanann had a similar entry, dinner with Chris, but scheduled for an hour later. Oh, and it says, there's a note that says the hour difference indicates she created the entry while in Arizona, using that state's time zone. In my experience, iPhones fail to make the transition when traveling to other time zones after an event is entered in the device's calendar. Okay, at 9:12 p.m., a line at the Frederick Police Department called Watts and held a 6-minute conversation. At 11:09, Kessinger called Watts and held a 51-minute conversation. And this was deleted. So now it's August 14th, but it's actually the same night. At 12:02 a.m., Kessinger searched Google for Shanann Watts. At 1:58 a.m., Watts played phone tag with a line at the Frederick Police Department. At 2:07 a.m., Watts made an unanswered call to Kessinger. She called him back seconds later, and they held a 10-minute conversation. At 4:58 a.m., Sandy called Watts and held a 4-minute conversation. 6:32 a.m., Sandy called again and held a 6-minute conversation. At 7:26 a.m., Watts perpetuated his fallacy, telling Sam, "I'm hoping she's with someone I don't know about because I've exhausted all the people I know of. I'm optimistic we will reunite again. People have been stopping by from time to time." 9:29, Watts transferred one last image into his secret calculator application, a semi-nude selfie of Kessinger. Wow, so she's still sending him nude pictures after his family's missing. At basically 9:30 in the morning. At 12:08, Kessinger spent nearly 4 hours searching Google and the internet for Watts, news outlets, and news accounts of Shanann's disappearance. All deleted, though. 12:31, Watts began to tell others that he was doing interviews with the news media. At 1:36 p.m., Watts told Sam, "An Amber Alert is not applicable to the facts as they are known presently." Watts added they just swept the house with dogs to pick up a scent. Watts said he has completed all his interviews with the news outlets. 2:21, Watts added Fox 31 reporter to his contacts. 2:30, Watts called Sandy and held a 10-minute conversation. 3:04, Watts told Addie, "Good morning, America has contacted my sister." At 5 p.m., Kessinger searched Google on topics like, "Can cops trace text messages? How long do phone companies keep text messages? Difference between text message content and text message detail." All deleted. She deleted all those searches. At 6 p.m., Watts had a calendar entry titled "Talk" scheduled to begin at this time. 6:21 p.m., Kessinger searched the internet for news accounts of this incident in Shanann's name. All deleted. And then there's a note that says these searches were conducted frequently by Kessinger throughout the next several days. She deleted every one afterwards. At 6:26 p.m., Watts told Nick Thayer that he was leaving now. "Stopping for gas and I'll be there." Watts had earlier agreed to spend the night at the Thayers. At 6:42, Watts returned a missed call from the Frederick Police Department. As a result of that call, Watts turned around and drove to the police department where he held an interview with FBI spanning from 7 p.m. to 11:06. At 7, after a brief call to the Thayers, Nick advised they would drive to the police department and wait for Watts to finish. At 8:10, Watts told David Cullen that he was talking with the FBI presently. At 8:42 p.m., Nick told Watts, "Hey man, we are sitting outside thinking of you. I am talking to an investigator friend and she recommends maybe not talking without a lawyer. I know this text might get there too late." 11:04 p.m., Watts added FBI agent Graham Coder to his phone contacts. Watts told an assortment of friends that he met with the FBI. They have the case now. So this is August 15th. At 7:47 a.m., Watts told his father, "Text me when you land, I can pick you up." 9:03 a.m., Coder sent a message to Watts, "Hey Chris, it's Graham from last night. Just checking in. Will you call me back?" Watts made that call 3 minutes later. 9:37 a.m., Watts told Coder that his father just landed and he was en route to pick him up. At 10:13 a.m., Watts told Coder that he just picked up his dad. At 10:27, Coder told Watts, "Swing on by the PD when you get a chance. We'll make a game plan for today." Watts answered a short call from Coder a minute later. And then there's a note that says, "Frequently this day, news outlets sent Chris messages requesting more interviews." At 10:53, Watts resumed his interview with FBI and CBI. He eventually confessed murdering Shanann and disposing of all 3 bodies. He was subsequently taken into custody. August 16th, 12:39. Michael Vesperman sent a message to Watts. I don't think you will see this, but I hope you find peace in your struggles, and I pray that you will find God and have mercy on your soul. As news broke of his confession and arrest, Shanann's phone received desperate messages from her friends and loved ones, like Addie. Need you here. I want you to know you are literally my right hand. I can't do this without you. On August 19th, Kessinger searched the internet on topics related to Amber Fry, the mistress of Scott Peterson. Her searches included Fry's book deal, her net worth, and did people hate Amber Fry. And that is the end of the phone activity. Okay, so what did you guys think? It makes me sad every time I read that, like Shanann's. Alright, thanks guys. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome. Your comments just brighten up my day sometimes. Like, I'll be reading some bad comments and just start getting down, and then I'll read one of you amazing people's comments, and it'll just make me smile. So don't stop, please. Keep commenting, keep engaging, keep sharing your guys' opinions, because a lot of you guys open my eyes to a lot of new ways of looking at some of this stuff that I never really looked at in a certain way. So just keep it. Me and Randy loves reading through the comments, and maybe if you guys want to give me some ideas of who you want me to cover next, what case, any new ones, any old ones, you know, of course, if there's any new updates in the Watts case, I'll keep covering it. Or do you guys want me to still keep going through the discovery and the interviews? I'm not sure. Do you want me to keep going through more of the interviews? And well, I know when the March 7th, when that interview, of course I'm going to cover that. But after that, do you want me to continue going through the discovery and continue going through different interviews I haven't covered yet? Or did you want me to move on to another case? I'd love your input, because I'm not sure. It's, you know, whatever you all want to hear. So just let me know if you want me to go through, because there's still so many more interviews that I haven't went through. I could do some more read-throughs. We could have some more discussions about some of the interview with Randy. If you would like us to continue and go through more of the discovery of the Watts case, just let me know, and we would be more than happy. If you want us to move on to another case after the 7th, after we cover, you know, the interview on the 7th, that comes out on the 7th, do you want us to move on to another case, or do you want us to continue? Maybe we could continue with this case, you know, and do both, kind of. Maybe have a couple videos of starting to get into another case, but still continue to go through the discovery. But I would definitely like to know your input on what you guys would like, because there's still a lot more of this discovery and a lot more interviews that I could go through if you guys aren't getting tired of it. And I mean, that's up to you. But yeah, so I'm anxious about Thursday. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like I said, hopefully we'll be able to do a live, but if not, I apologize, because I know a lot of you guys have asked. I'm just hoping I'm not restricted. Like I said, I don't know. I'm gonna try to do it and see. So hopefully. And I've never done it live before, so I don't know how that'll turn out. So hopefully it'll be all right. All right, guys. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye.